announcements for today. It's that rare day. We're going to start on our backs. So come to rest on your back in the position that we call constructive rest. Knees bent, soles of the feet to the floor. I'm going to keep my socks on. I'm trying to heat up this room, but it's cold. Elbows out to the sides and palms resting on your belly. On your belly or on your low ribs, whichever will help you most to feel your breath coming and going. And to take a breath that is nice and deep and full. See if you want a little lift for the back of the head. You may want to place a folded blanket under the head. That's comfortable. Allow the shoulder blades to really drop toward the floor, to be held and accepted by the floor, to surrender your outer shoulders and upper arm bones as well, and your rib cage. And let the pelvis be heavy and drop toward the floor. So really the weight of your body, you're just surrendering the best you can. And place your attention, anchor your attention in the breath coming and going. Keep your attention here, noticing the inhale and the exhale. And notice if you have a natural impulse to give more emphasis to one phase over the other phase. And there's nothing to fix. You don't have to even anything out. We're just observing and noticing. Does the inhale tend to be longer or the exhale tend to be longer, or are they even naturally? Between the inhale and the exhale, does one phase feel more present in your body or more natural? Does it feel more natural to take in breath? Or does it feel more natural to release breath? And does one phase of the breathing just have more presence in general? And if you don't notice anything, this is a little bit nuanced, that's just fine. Just feeling the breath coming and going. And then extend the legs and extend the arms overhead toward the floor. Just give a long stretch. And then start to wiggle a little side to side, sort of like you're picking apples from a tree, extending one arm and then the other arm. As you extend one arm, extend that leg as well. So you get one side, and then you bend that knee and get the other side. You can take the head side to side a little bit too. Just feeling this stretch along the whole side body. Point and flex through the toes. Scrunch the toes, extend the toes, and make circles with the feet, opening up the ankles. Other direction. Good, and then grab one of your blocks if you have it handy. We're going to take tree pose on the floor. So the left leg stays extended, the right knee bends, comes out to the side, and use your block just to support the outer knee, even if you don't much need it. It's just very nice to have. You could put it propped up as I'm doing here like this, or you can just place it down. Just see that there's support so that there's no grabbing in the hip. It's just an easy tree. Flex through that left foot and extend through the ball of the foot. And if you'd like, extend the arms overhead, palms facing each other, and lengthen both sides of the body. And then come on back. So just notice how it feels in that right hip. See if you can bring some ease. And then bring the knee back to center and we'll switch sides. Right leg extended, left knee out to the side, supported with the block. So you have the benefit here of the floor taking the body. Flex through the right foot and then extend through the ball of the foot. Again, if you'd like to extend the arms overhead, you can. Just opening up the side waists, sides of the rib cage, and then you can bring the arms down and just feel how it is in that left hip compared to the right. More ease, more constriction, about the same. What do you notice? Right, sometimes in our body we have big differences. I definitely feel big difference from side to side. And then as you're ready, come on up to seated. I'm going to share some words. If you'd like to stay on the floor and just do a little more stretching, that's also fine. So today is the 18th of Kislev. Chanukah is coming on Sunday night, beginning on Sunday night. And we are in Parshat Vayeshev. We have the story now of Joseph beginning. So the beginning of Vayeshev tells us, now Israel loved Joseph best of all his sons, for he was the child of his old age. B'Yisrael ahav Yosef mikol banav. And he had made for him an ornamented tunic, ketonet pasim, ve'asalo ketonet pasim. And when his brothers saw that their father loved him more than any of his brothers, they hated him, so that they could not say a friendly word to him. Ve'lo yachlu dabro l'shalom. They couldn't speak to him in peace, essentially, right? And then that inflates, Joseph's ego is inflated too, and he's telling them about his dreams and, like how he feels greater than they. And of course, this causes all kinds of rivalry and tension. I want to share a beautiful piece on Vayeshev that was written by Rabbi Yael Levy in Directing the Heart. So the portion begins, Vayeshev Yaakov, Be'eretz migurei aviv be'eretz Canaan. Now Jacob settled, he settled in the land where his father had sojourned. So she opens as follows. Jacob sought rest. He yearned to settle, to dwell in comfort and peace. He sought relief from upheaval. He wanted to stop questioning, to cease wandering and be still. But instead, Jacob's own vulnerabilities and human frailties brought contention and pain. Jacob's favoring of his son Joseph created upheaval within the family and resulted in jealousy and rage. The family was torn apart. Any hope of comfort and peace gone. Even as we seek to settle, even as we yearn for calm and rest, the mission of being human makes this difficult. Feelings arise, thoughts emerge, and our struggles, vulnerabilities, and experiences get tangled. We trip and fall, causing pain to ourselves and others. Sometimes the fall is so severe, we land in a deep pit and feel unable to rise. Let us remember that we are all vulnerable beings doing the best we can in each moment. We all have dreams for our lives, visions and hopes of what might be, and we all have experiences that help us weave our dreams into reality. And we all have experiences that tear our dreams apart. Let us be kind to ourselves and each other. Let us treat each other with tenderness and care. I love how Rabbi Yael weaves in all the images and the facts of the parasha into this precise and concise poetic expression, falling into the pit and having our dreams. So I want to talk about our own vulnerabilities and human frailties and how we can be kind in our own bodies and treat them with tenderness and care. So she says here, Jacob's favoring of his son Joseph created upheaval within the family, right? So I want to talk about what happens when we favor one side or the other. And I want to start with an apology because the word favor is confusing, because if I favor one of my children, then I give more emphasis to that child. But when I favor my right leg, and I have gotten this wrong in the past, and the internet has said two things, but I've clarified it for myself. I've been wrong. When I say I favor my right leg, it's not that I'm putting more weight on my right leg. The opposite. I'm putting more weight on my left leg and favoring it by being gentle with it. So I'm going to just avoid the word favor because it's different between favoring a human being or favoring a particular subject in school and favoring parts of the body. It's opposite. So I'm just going to use the term giving more openness or giving more weight or feeling more presence in one side of the body or being uneven. But what I'm talking about is taking this concept of favoring and bringing it to the body. I just wanted to share that. So what we're going to look at in our yoga today is how we look at pieces of ourselves. We may prioritize one part of our body or one part of our emotional self over another. And how can we sit with this and start to see imbalance in our own practice? And that's what we do in our yoga practice, especially if you're able now and then to use a mirror, is without judgment, see these imbalances and work on softening so that we can come into balance and create more harmony for the whole system of our body, the whole family system in the case of Joseph, the whole internal family system. If IFS is a particular interest of yours, the internal family system sees that we have parts just like an external family system. We have so many parts within us emotionally that we're working with. So we're going to work on looking at the body from side to side. Let's start by clasping hands and sending the palms forward and then bringing them up above your head. You can stay as bent as you'd like in the elbows, or you can work on straightening out the elbows and extending both arms. So more than the arms, we're looking for ease in the shoulders, and we're looking for an even lift through both sides of the body. So as you press up, can you notice, do I have more weight on my left sitting bone or my right sitting bone? And can I extend equally through both sides? And then come on down, switch the clasp of the hands so the webbing is opposite. And take it again and see if it's different, how it's different. And again, grounding both sides of the pelvis as we send the palms up. And what do you notice in that balancing? And then just release the hands, shake them out. I'm going to do a little bit of a tricep stretch. Bring your right hand out to the side, turn the palm to face up, bring the arm up overhead, bend at the elbow, and then take the left hand to it. And give it a little bit of a pull. So tricep, armpit, lat area, just gently. Notice if by doing that you are rocking to one side, see if you can stay even through the middle. And then release, give a little shake, take the other arm, left arm out, turn the palm to face up, come on up, bend the elbow. Do you tend to feel more presence or more ease in one side of the body? Is it your dominant side or is it the other side? And then release. And then we're going to take both hands and internally rotate. That is, turn the palms down and to face back behind you. And then either clasp opposite elbows behind you or take prayer behind the back. Whatever's available to your shoulders. Go gently. This might be the first movements you're doing with those beautiful shoulders today. And then take your gaze over the right shoulder and over the left shoulder, looking side to side, just to find some ease through the head and neck. Great. We're going to take our strap now. You might be able to clasp hands behind you, but otherwise you'll want to use your strap. So right arm comes up, bends, and we take hold of the strap. And then left arm internally rotating and taking hold of the strap behind us. So again, maybe you don't need the strap. Maybe you can clasp fingers. And just feel this. So one arm, top arm is externally rotated. The bottom arm is internally rotated at the shoulder. And just feeling how this is. And again, do you collapse? Do you tend to collapse on that left side of the rib cage? Can you keep both sides of the rib cage open? And then we're going to switch. So left arm up, take hold of the strap. Internally rotating the right arm, coming under here, take hold of the strap. And just feel any sense of unevenness, evenness, presence, and then release. While we're down here to the floor, I'm going to take a stretch to reap the benefit of that shoulder opening. Take your blocks to the floor. If you don't have blocks, just your hands, they're vertical here. And then just lengthen back. If you'd like, you could do a downward facing dog, but basically we're working on the arms of downward facing dog. Just extending tailbone and pubic bone back, right hip and left hip back evenly. Let the heart melt. And then walk it forward. We'll just move into a little bit of cat and cow for the spine. Arching and curling. And then make your way up to standing in whatever way you would like. Find mountain pose. And notice how you distribute your weight. Can even rock a little from side to side so that you intentionally feel more weight to one side, more weight to the other side. And see if you can put yourself as evenly as possible. No favoring. Ground the four corners of the feet. Extend the crown of the head upward. Good. And then we'll take the arms in cow face pose again, standing. So turn the right palm to face up and come to the strap and the left arm under you. Looks something like this at the back. Feet together or feet wider, hip width or wider, however it feels best to you. And again, if you have any shoulder injuries, go easy. Go gently. Can you soften your rib cage a little bit back into the left hand towards where the left hand is resting? And then we'll switch. Taking the other side. But we're just noticing, how is it like going from side to side? Where might we notice imbalances in the body? Sometimes I think of it like when you make a fingerprint and you have like the dark and the light in a one of those images, you know? It's like what part of the body, if you're doing kind of like a mental image, feels present, feels dark, and what part just sort of is not so present and feels lighter. We can kind of notice that through the body in an image sort of way. We're going to take the legs wide for warrior two. Left toes in, right toes out. Let's find this stance here. Inhale the arms to shoulder height and exhale, bend the right knee. The gaze is over the right fingertips. Starting to open through the inner line of the legs. A few breaths here. And then come on up, turn the feet, and we'll go to the other side. Inhale, arms up, and exhale, bend through that left knee. Come on up, straighten through the legs, take the left toes and point them forward, and even the toes in a little bit. Both legs nice and wide. We're going to take a wide leg forward bend. If you'd like to place blocks in front of your legs for your hands, you can, especially if the hamstrings are tight. You may want that. Hands to the hips. Inhale, lift the heart up, and exhale, fold forward. So hands to the blocks or hands to the floor, lengthening the spine. You'd like to fold deeply and take the crown of the head towards the floor, you can. Or maybe just lengthening the spine, opening up the legs is plenty. And when you're ready, unwind. Lift up, come back up, exhale, come on back to center. Okay, so now we are going to take a balance pose, tree pose. Feel free to take a hand to the wall or your back body to the wall or your foot to a block or your foot to a chair, however you might want to work with this pose. If you need help with balance, use it. It's a great thing to do. Let's shift over to our weight over to the right leg. Engage the quads to lift the kneecap and turn out from the left hip and then place the foot. right? So it could be anywhere except just not against the knee. And notice what it's like here to balance on one foot. Notice if the hips want to shift to accommodate. See what it's like to find this balance and how it feels to stand on the right leg. And then release. And we'll take the other side, shifting over to the left leg. Again, lift up on the quad. Engage the quad to lift the kneecap. And then place the right foot. Notice how it is to balance on left leg. More steady and stable or less? More present, less present? And of course, if you fall out of balance, just come on back in. No big deal. We're just noticing, nothing to do. And then we'll take the legs wide one more time before we come down to the floor. Hands to the hips. Inhale, lift the heart. And exhale, fold forward. One more time, taking this wide leg forward fold. And as you wish, unwind, lift up. Come on back to center, and we'll come to the floor to a seated position. You can have the blocks nearby. Bring your blanket and sit up. A little more of this side to side activity. Keeping the left leg extended long. We'll bend the right knee and then take the right knee out to the side. And depending on, how your knee is, here you might also want some support for the outer knee. So we don't want to have any pain or strain. And we're going to be extending forward over the left leg. So sitting up tall to begin. And you might like to use your strap, taking the strap around the left foot and sitting up tall here. And then we'll start to reach forward. So maybe you're here with the strap and you're just going to come a little bit more forward with the strap. Maybe you're going to come and take the foot and begin to extend forward. Work with this as it feels comfortable in your own body to find some lift and extension, vertebra to vertebra, as you fold. You've got to be really patient with these hamstrings. We don't want to strain them or pull them. We want to be careful with the back of the knee. We want to be careful with the whole body. So the idea is when we are stronger, perhaps on one side of the body, and weaker in another place in the body, which is very natural. It means we just keep compensating and compensating. It's the same idea with, favoring one person in the family, right? The system keeps adjusting to it, right? So we want to try and work towards some balance, some sanity for ourselves. Let's switch sides. Right leg extended, left knee bending, coming in, taking the knee out to the side. Again, maybe you want some support with the block under the knee. And orient yourself facing towards your right leg. And once again, maybe you want the strap, sitting up tall. And noticing how is it different here on this side. And starting to come forward. What do you observe? As you are ready, come on up. Extend both legs forward. Let's take staff pose by pressing the palms down, widening the collarbones, squeezing the shoulder blades toward each other for a moment without lifting the shoulders up towards the ears, just squeezing the shoulder blades like you were just squeezing a quarter between them. And let the shoulder blades release and also slide down the back a little, feeling they can just rest down onto the rib cage. Good. And then from here, again, we can take the strap and sit up tall. You might keep it right here and feel free to keep any amount of bend on the knees. And as you're ready, coming forward. Hmm. See if you can stay even through the backs of the legs and even through the side waists from the hips up to the armpits. And as you're ready, come on up. And take it down to the floor, lying down. Take figure 4 with the right ankle crossing over the top of the left thigh, just above the knee. And we'll bring this whole thing in, either threading your strap behind the left thigh or sending your arms behind, clasping hands, drawing the left thigh toward you. And then release and switch sides. Figure 4. This one I find especially gives a pretty clear idea of one hip versus the other. And then release. And we'll take a bridge pose. Draw the heels toward the buttocks as close as you can. Extend the arms alongside the mat and take hold of either side of the mat. Inhale, fill the belly. Exhale, press into the feet. Lengthen the tailbone as you press the hip points up. Maybe you'll roll the shoulders under you. Lift the center of the chest up. So you don't really have to squeeze the buttocks. It'll naturally engage. But let's consider sending the hip points toward the ceiling. Keeping the knees, the thighs parallel so that the knees don't splay. And then let's prioritize pressing into the feet to lift up and lifting the center of the heart up. If you want to take your arms under you and clasp hands, you can. When you're ready to come down, widen the shoulders, roll down vertebra by vertebra. And then we're going to rest in a low bridge. Take the block under the hips. Just let the sacrum settle here. Few breaths to just rest, to settle. To bring some softness to the belly. Some softness to your mental state. Then we're going to take a supported shoulder stand if you'd like. For this one, I often like to move the block a little bit higher up toward my rib cage, just like an inch or so. It feels, you'll see if you can find the spot where it feels best, and then send the legs up toward the ceiling. Flex the feet, extend the balls of the feet. Again, you can roll your shoulders under you, tuck your wings in, lift the center of your heart, lift your sternum up. Beautiful shoulder stand variation. And then as you're ready, bend the knees, take the feet back to the floor, lift the hips up, remove the block, lower down vertebra by vertebra, and come to rest. We're going to take our rest a little bit differently today. Wow, sorry about that noise. Take your blocks. We're going to take cobbler's pose, soles of the feet together, the knees out to the sides. You just rest the knees here. And then you can take the arms anywhere you like, maybe to the hip points, to the belly. Perhaps you want to clasp opposite elbows and take the arms overhead. Wherever you would like. Take your rest here. And just letting your breath come and go. You can keep the knees wide for a couple more minutes, or if you'd like to uh, move into a more traditional shavasana, you can bring the knees together and lengthen out the legs. Breathing in spaciousness. Breathing out, releasing tension. Breathing in softness so that parts of the body can connect to one another in peace. Breathing out, releasing tension. Breathing in peace. Breathing out, releasing struggle. And as you're ready, you can begin to make your way up to a comfortable seat. So the brothers couldn't speak to Joseph in a friendly way, says the translation. The Hebrew, velo yachlu dibro leshalom. They couldn't speak to him, with him, of him in a peaceful manner. We can invite peace when we become a little more even between parts of ourselves, parts of our being. Toward that, let's seal our practice, make a khatimah, by bringing the left hand to the right, evenly meeting each other. And we'll close by chanting Shalom. 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 Peace, peace, peace within, peace without. Evenness of being, shlemut, wholeness. Bowing your head to your heart, releasing your hands, lifting your head. Shavua Tov, thank you all for practicing. It's wonderful to be with you. Remember the IJS Chanukah event on December 14th, and we will be here next Monday to talk about Chanukah. Wishing you a beautiful start to the holiday.